Welcome to Exam Math Keys. This is Lesson 3, Course 1, Dividing Indices Made Easy. Subtract the powers rule explained. In this lesson, we prove why we subtract powers when dividing same bases. We will use expansion. We will use cancellation and logical reasoning, but we will discourage memorization. We'd like you to know why. This is a foundational rule required for simplifying algebraic expressions in WAEC, NECO, GCSE, IGCSE, and other exams. When multiplying indices or powers, add the indices. When dividing, subtract. Take note of that. So today, or in this class, let's consider dividing same bases. Take note of that. Dividing same bases. Same bases underlined. When you are dividing same bases, subtract, the powers rule will apply. Let's consider this first example, and we will use expansion to prove it. Example. Write x raised to power 5 x raised to power 2 or rather expand or resolve or solve x raised to power 5 divided by x raised to power 2. Let's expand fully. X raised to power 5 is x times x times x times x times x divided by x times x, that is for x raised to power 2. This cancels this, and this cancels this. So we will have 1, 2, 3. Left, x times x times x, which is x raised to power 3. In other words, x raised to power 5 divided by x raised to power 2, we will have x raised to power 3. So what really happened was that this 5 x raised to power 5 divided by x raised to power 2, which is x raised to power 5 over x raised to power 2. So what really happened was that 5 subtracted, or 2 was subtracted from 5, and we had 3. Let's consider another example. X raised to power 8 divided by x raised to power 3. So we have a total of 8 x's divided by 3 x's, and that leaves us with 5 x's. So we'll have x 8 minus 3, which is x raised to power 5. So the pattern is becoming clear. Let's now state the law clearly. Let's state the law clearly. The law states that a raised to power x divided by a raised to power y is equal to a raised to power x minus y. When dividing powers with the same base, subtract the indices. Note, same base. Same base. So let's look at this critical warning. Let's look at this warning. Critical warning. Let's look at this critical warning. When you have x raised to power 5 divided by y raised to power 2, can we subtract 2 from 5? No, because the bases are different. So your answer will remain x raised to power 5 over y raised to power 2. There is nothing you can do about that. Because the bases are different. So you cannot resolve that. The subtraction rule only works when the bases are identical. Take note of that. Only works when the bases are identical. Let's look at this special case. Let's look at a special case. In this example, we have x raised to power 3 divided by x raised to power 3. Let's apply the rule. This becomes x raised to power 3 minus 3, which is x raised to power 0, which is equal to 1. Remember that any number raised to power 0 is 1. Any non-zero number raised to power 0 equals 1. So x raised to power 3 divided by x raised to power 3 is equal to x raised to power 0, which is 1. This prepares the next lesson. The next lesson 4 is going to be explaining, or will explain, why x raised to power 0 is 1. Let's consider the following examples, or try them out. Try the following. Try these. Number 1. A raised to power 7 divided by a raised to power 4. And number 2. B raised to power 9 divided by b raised to power 3. And number 3, m raised to power 5 divided by m raised to power 5. Now pause and try fast, and then we'll solve together. This is equal to a raised to power 7 minus 4, which is a raised to power 3. And this b raised to power 9 minus 3. This is b raised to power 6. b raised to power 6. And then the third one, m raised to power 5 minus 5, which is m raised to power 0, which is 1. And the reason is that any number, any non-zero number raised to power 0 is 1. Let's summarize. Let's summarize. Summary. We have considered the following. At least 3 points that we have considered in this lesson. Let's look at what those 3 points are. The first one you can use expansion method, expand to understand. And we also considered that you can cancel common factors. We considered that. We canceled common factors for a clearer view. And the third thing we considered, we subtract indices, when only same base applies. And finally, when you multiply in indices, multiplication, add the powers. Division, subtract the powers. In the next lesson, we will prove why x raised to power 0 is equal to 1. And it will finally make complete sense. Complete sense because you'll be prepared to solve any type of question in indices. Comment subtract if you understand this rule.